Hello and welcome to Capacity TV. My name is Saf Malik, reporter at Capacity Media. We are here live at ITW 2022 and I'm delighted to be joined by two executives from HGC Global Communications. Would you like to introduce yourselves?
Sure, Saf. I'm Ravi. I run the international business for HGC and I'm glad to be here. Thanks for inviting me. Today I have got my head of carrier business who's also joined with me. And I'm very happy to be here today and answer your questions.
Thank you for taking the time. The first question, as HGC is based in Hong Kong, how is the business doing and how are your colleagues been managing under COVID lockdown restrictions?
Well, I think as all countries had faced the COVID pandemic, Hong Kong is the one that faced the last bit of it in the beginning of this year, the Omicron escalation. I think Hong Kong handled it very well, and as a company we used a lot of data science to help monitor and also give a lot of encouragement to our staff, and also we implemented work from home models, and this helped to keep the productivity and at the same time making sure that the staff have adequate protection at home. And also when they are coming to work, we implement measures that make sure that we can isolate if the infection occurs in the office. And there was a hell of a lot of deep cleaning that we did in the office whenever we had some cases. But all in all, it was good. And I think in terms of the impact to the business, I would say that since we have a mitigation plan in place, especially in project delivery of services, we could actually still deliver services as a critical service provider. We were given that exemption, so we could actually still implement. So all in all, I would say there was some impact to productivity, but it was pretty minimal. And as far as business is concerned, I would say one of the growth areas due to the pandemic has been the increased uptake in the broadband services, especially for those for work from homes situation. So that has been a positive recipient to our business. And as a consumer broadband service provider, it was a good time for us in that sense. Yeah.
In January, HGC partnered with Kacific to expand network connectivity in the Philippines. How is that partnership progressing, and is it now in operation?
Yes, it is. It is. So Kacific is an example of a client that wanted to have access to the eyeball in a country, which is difficult in nature to bring all the eyeballs together. As you know, some of you are using provider A, some of you using mobile, some are using fixed network. So we engineered a platform that we call Eyeball as a Service, whereby we could actually provide as many eyeballs as possible to a company that needs to have access into a country. And this is part of our program to develop further solutions for companies like Kacific, OTTs, content, hyperscalers, or gaming companies. So it's an example of how we make one-stop shop solution for companies to be able to roll out services. And Philippines is just one of the countries that we do that. We do that in several countries in Southeast Asia. For example, in Taiwan, in Indonesia. So we hope that we can simplify the process of a customer or an internet company to access to local market in the quickest and the simplest way possible with the right price and SLA.
And in terms of your strategic priorities, what would you say they are between now and 2023?
So I'll let Thomas answer that question.
Okay, yeah. I think I have a few points on that one. So first of all, in the past, we have been delivering network to different countries, connectivity for other carriers, other customers. But we see that we hit a bottleneck. So we have put up different investments to focus on Southeast Asian countries to take up fiber assets. So we're looking at that one, and we see that our first investment is pretty much fulfilled in this year, and we're looking at different investments in different countries as well. Furthermore, on top of just pure infrastructure and network, we are also working to address the needs of the OTT. Of course, everybody's working with the hyperscalers, but our focus is always in Southeast Asia. So we are also working towards addressing the needs of the second-tier OTT players, the content providers in the Southeast Asia region for their domestic content consumption and creation. So we have different services catering to those instead of just pure network and pure co-location services. And also another point is wholesale. So wholesale carrier, in the past we have been providing to them just circuits, capacity. But we see that the landscape has changed in the past year, past 12 to 13 months, 12 to 18 months. And we see that there is a need for solution, for wholesale solution. Because because especially due to COVID, a lot of the carriers, now they depend on the fulfillment in the far end, in different regions, different countries. And we are able to do that riding on our sister company, Macroview, which they have a full-fledged of ICT solutions.
Yeah. So in an essence, the prioritization is basically meeting the greatest demand of the market, which are a few sectors. One is the OTT or over-the-top players who are driving the need for demand and services as they expand into Southeast Asia or even Asia in general. So that is priority number one. The second priority is the wholesale business is going through evolution as capacities become more and more commoditized and localized and more made available. Submarine cable and network are not the sexy product to sell anymore. We need to look at it holistically, not only the network but also the head-end solution, which could be a combination of equipment, it could be a managed service that comes as a total package. So when we talk to our clients who need services in a country, we are not talking to them about just a tail. We're talking to them, what else can we do in the overall package of things? And we enable that with some of the tools and the companies that we have acquired. So those are some of the priorities. And I'd just like to add another area that we are further developing is in the area of messaging. So HGC is making some big progress in that space, being one of the lead players in messaging business in this industry. And we are picking up new evolution and models on top of that. And one of the areas that we are expanding is in the area of mobile identity. So we hope that some of these strategies will propel us for growth in the next couple of years.
That's great to hear. And we hope to hear more from you guys in the near future.
Sure.
Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you.